Welcome, kitten fans, to another episode of Keeping Up with the Kittens. So I thought I'd just start. They were being so cute with their eating. I wish y'all could hear the noises that they make, but they make the cutest little like slurping noises when they eat. So I was just gonna start on that. But we are back in the kitten room, so I'm gonna kind of adjust the camera here as we turn to more of the center stage of fun. There we go. But this is my kitten room. My name is Jen. I am one of the fosters for Houston Pets Alive, and this is my foster room, and I have 9 kittens in here currently. They are the Grey's Anatomy crew, so I named them after my favorite characters on Grey's Anatomy. And so they are doing great. We have 2 males and 7 females in here, and actually 2 of them went and got spayed today. So the rest of them are not at weight, but we try to get them to the pet stores as soon as possible. So as soon as they make that weight, we go ahead and get them off to surgery. So they did really well. Actually, the black one right there, Miranda, she got spayed today, and as you can see, she's kind of exploring around and she's doing fine. And then Meredith, the gray one, she is up in the cat tree. I don't think I have the camera focused enough to where you can see her, but she's taking it a little bit easier right now. So they all kind of adjust at their own pace after the surgery. We're supposed to keep them as quiet as possible, but when y'all figure out how to keep a kitten quiet, y'all let me know. So they are doing good though. So we're just gonna sit back and watch. If you have any questions while you are watching, either about these kittens, about Houston Pets Alive, about what we do as fosters or volunteers, any of the above, go ahead and put those down in the comments. And if not, we are gonna sit back and watch them explore. They actually got a new toy, that green tunnel, thanks to one of my kitten angels that donated some toys to us. So I always love it when I am able to thank my wonderful kitten angels. So thank y'all so much for that. So they bless us with some new toys and food. Every once in a while I'll put out on my personal Facebook page, and they support me that way. So that's always very helpful. So we're gonna sit back and just watch the fun. No, these guys will actually stay here. So I am their foster, so they will stay here. We do have our pet stores that we partner with where we have kittens available there. Those guys have gone back to their foster homes. And so that's a really good question. So that if we are affected by these hurricanes that are coming in, and if there's loss of power or flooding or something like that, they're not in the stores by themselves. So they will go back to their foster home. So these guys are my fosters, and so they will be staying with me here in my house. But that's a good question. So we do have a kind of a disaster preparedness plan, as I hope everybody else does. And that would include, you know, having your food and your water, having supplies, if any of your animals are any type of medications, leashes, crates, litter boxes, things like that. You might want to get that ready. And make sure you have an evacuation plan. If you do have to go somewhere, you might want to have a good idea of what hotels or lodging like that might let you have animals, because I know some hotels do, some hotels don't, and so having an idea in mind ahead of that would be very helpful. I know when I've kind of scouted that out before, it kind of eased some of my worry about traveling with animals and like, well, where am I going to stay? And so if I kind of scouted that out ahead of time, it made it a much easier kind of place when we did have to evacuate. Because there have been a couple of times that we've had to go some places, either when I had my fosters or just with my personal animals. And so it's always nice to have a plan and kind of have a backup plan with everything as well. So I hope everybody is prepared for when these storms are coming in. I know that our school district, I'm a school teacher, they have closed down our schools for the next 2 days to allow families and staff to prepare for those. So make sure that as you are preparing for your pets, that you are preparing for yourself as well and getting ready for everything. Ooh, a fellow teacher. So I'm in Humble ISD, which is up in the Kingwood, Atascocita, Humble area. So it was so funny because my daughter, this is her first year in high school. She's a freshman, and today was her first day of on-campus learning, and then we're done. So I was teasing her. I was like, well, I guess they canceled that. So it's going to be a new year for all of us, and I know we're all going to be adjusting and being flexible and being kind along the way. So Ruby, these kittens are about 7-ish weeks old. So they're all about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds, and usually that's between 7 and 8 weeks old. So we never know the exact age because we usually intake them from a shelter, and so based on their weight, there's a couple of things that you can look at kittens: their weight, their teeth, how their teeth look, if they have little spiky teeth or if they have their molars in, just kind of like kiddos. There's some signs that we can do that help us kind of age them a little bit more. Yes, they are very active now. So they're, in the beginning, they were very kind of calm and quiet, but I think they were kind of getting over their icky that they had. They had a bunch of eye gunk and probably some tummy troubles, and so they were medicated and put on dewormer and things like that. And so getting their systems a little bit healthier. And so now we're, you know, this playful, active kitten that everyone loves to watch. But one things I did want to mention is that with the impending storms and hurricanes coming, is to, one, you know, to have your supplies for your pets and your evacuation plan and things like that. But to also, if after the storms leave and your pet either goes missing or you find a pet, we want to make sure, one of the suggestions that I have is to try to handle that in your neighborhood. We don't all want to run down and take these dogs and cats to the animal shelter, because that's really not the animal shelter's purpose. The animal shelter's purpose is for emergencies, things like that. And so a lot of the time they have, you know, there's the neighborhood, you know, watch and things like that. And then my mind's going blank of the one neighborhood app that everyone uses, Nextdoor. I think that's what it's called. Try to advertise on that, advertise on your own Facebook page, advertise on your, if your community has a Facebook page, or, you know, put up the old-fashioned flyers and do things like that. They've shown with some studies that some of the rescue groups have shown that you actually have a better success rate of reuniting that dog with their owner if you stay in that area and don't take them somewhere else. And so a lot of the times you can just handle that within your neighborhood. Try Nextdoor, try your Facebook, try social media before you take them down to the animal shelters. Because really we want to save the animal shelters and their staff and resources for emergencies and those animal emergencies that may happen with natural disasters and things like that. So we don't want to flood them just with lost pets. And so if we put in just a little bit of legwork, we can usually help reunite those pets and not overwhelm our animal shelters, because they do have limited space and limited resources and limited staff. And so if we can just do a little bit of that legwork and help them out, it's a much better success rate of reuniting those animals. A lot of the animals nowadays are also microchipped, and so you can take them just to your local vet. And all the vets I know will usually do this for free and just say, I've found this dog or cat. I think it's lost. Can you scan it and see if it has a microchip? And they have a little device that will scan for the chip, and then that chip number is connected to their owner's information, and so you can connect that way. And so that would save a lot of time and trouble, one, for you going and taking the animal down to the animal shelter, and then it's a quicker reunite for that pet and that owner. So just some things to think about if after these storms pass and you do find some lost animals, make sure you try to do a little bit of that work and help reunite those animals. But one of the things you can do for your own pets is to make sure they have collars with identifying tags on them, get them microchipped, some things that you can do. So I do have one black kitten. She's right there actually kind of in frame on that orange tower. That is Miranda. But these kittens are not quite adoption ready yet. And so usually what happens is they get their 2 rounds of vaccinations. They get spayed and neutered. We make sure they're up to date on their deworming and flea preventative and all that kind of stuff. And once they go to the pet stores is when they are available. And so we don't hold kittens or anything like that. It's a first come, first served basis. And so what I do suggest to people is that they go ahead and get that application in. And you can find that on our website. It's at houstonpetsalive.org. And you'll just click on adopt, and it'll take you to a link to where you can see all the adoptable dogs and puppies and all the adoptable cats and kittens. So we have some cats and kittens on there right now. You will not find these because they're not available yet. They will be shortly, and so you can kind of keep an eye on them. But that would be the thing that I would do and suggest to everybody is to go ahead and get that application in. One of our foster coordinators will, or adoption coordinators, sorry, will get in touch with you and see maybe which kitten or cat or dog or puppy you are interested in, and then they will set up a meet and greet. And usually that's at the pet stores with the cats and kittens. The dogs kind of handle it a little bit differently. They have their adoption events on Saturday, and they do have some meet and greet set up along the way, but that would be the first step, is to get that application done and to set up that meet and greet. Yeah, believe it or not, she actually had surgery today. So she's just jumping around. So she must be either still kind of high on pain medication, but we're supposed to keep them quiet. Usually what I do when I have if I have the whole litter all spayed and neutered all at once, I usually take my cat tree down, I lay it on its side, I take away some of their toys, and try to keep them kind of quiet and calm. But she was jumping around and just having a good old time in the carrier. And so I let her out and she just went to town. And so everyone kind of, you know, recovers in their own way. And so I'll keep an eye on her. But, you know, they always say to keep the kittens quiet for about 7 days. And I'm like, if y'all figure out how to keep a kitten quiet and still for 7 days, y'all let me know. Because I've been doing this for 15 plus years and still haven't figured it out. But we keep an eye on them, but our surgery staff, or our vet staff, does an amazing job with the surgeries. I've never had an issue with them being a little bit too rambunctious and, you know, something happening with their surgery site. So they do an amazing job. But it is something as a foster to kind of keep in mind and keep a visual on that about what we do, you know, with their surgery sites and keeping them clean and healthy. So just one of those responsibilities as a foster. But I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We usually try to stay on for about 15 minutes and let everybody watch in the kitten fun. So they have definitely been enjoying that new green tunnel. One of my little kitten angels got that for us. And so we thank them for spoiling us and sending us toys in the mail. But we will be back on, let's see, today is Thursday. No, today's Tuesday. I'm getting ahead of myself. Today's Tuesday. So Thursday, so hopefully if everyone still has power and is good from the storms, we will be back on Thursday. So we'll wish everybody that you stay safe and dry. And we will see everybody on Thursday, hopefully. Thanks for joining.